Welcome back to the Diesel Page. The first question nearly everyone asks about Little Red is, what year is the truck? The second question is, how fast is it? Answering the first question is easy. It's a 1989 Chevrolet Silverado K1500. But how fast is it? As you can see here, the engine appears to be more or less factory original. Except for an aftermarket cold air intake, the engine setup appears to be nearly stock in this photo. My original goal was to push the limits of a stock LB7 Duramax to discover how well it performed at the racetrack and at the dyno without breaking it. I sort of succeeded. While entertaining, the early days of the Duramax performance products included plug-in modules that produced way too much smoke for our increasingly eco-friendly world. Performance modules worked well when looking for just another 100 or so rear-wheel horsepower, but they could only provide a fraction of the fuel delivery necessary for truly impressive power. Plus, the factory turbocharger with its 20 to 25 psi boost pressure could support only a limited increase in smokeless performance. Beyond about 400 rear-wheel horsepower, smokeless performance requires more oxygen. You can get there with either a bigger single or twin turbochargers, and up to about 70 or so psi boost pressure. To be truly serious about racing, you'll have to sacrifice streetability for race performance. Generally, bigger turbos or more turbos tend to be more smoky on the street with their longer spool times and laggy response. You'll not make any friends with the EV crowd. The best of both worlds, street and strip, can be achieved when using nitrous oxide to add oxygen to the intake air. Nitrous oxide can increase oxygen and can cool the intake air at the same time. Both of these effects allow for big power increases, especially when you add more fuel. The smoke-free shots shown here show what effect nitrous had on Little Red's run down the track. This run shows what a dynoed 500 rear-wheel horsepower can do in a 5,000-pound 4x4 truck. Sometime after this weekend, we upgraded the truck's programming using EFI Live. Adding another 100 horsepower can reduce quarter-mile times another full second. But nitrous has its risks. Don't overdo it. Don't use it too soon. Coming out of the bottle, nitrous is very, very cold. This can cause the fire to go out unless the engine is already producing a lot of power before introducing the nitrous. A semi-automatic 2-stage or 3-stage nitrous system can reduce the risk of engine damage. Little Red is equipped with Caltrax traction bars and an Eaton Positraction rear differential. Running in 4-wheel drive allowed for decent launches at 500 horsepower, but increasing power beyond that requires more truck modifications for safe and reliable launches, such as an air-locking front differential. Without a locking front differential, the truck will launch from a power brake with a crab walk that can quickly get out of hand, or result in breaking stuff. The dyno is really the best tool to use for performance tuning and sorting through any products you might be interested in using. The graph shown here is where I stopped with performance products and tuning. 632 horsepower and over 1,200 pound-feet of torque. The press you into the seat acceleration is absolutely awesome. My ultimate goal was to find that happy compromise of fun street performance that would still allow the truck to do well at the track and the dyno, but not be so modified that the truck became unfun on the street. What I found is that the factory Allison could handle another 100 to 150 horsepower above stock before it would set a slip code, if you're careful about power brake launches. But beyond about 500 horsepower, you'll need a performance transmission. Shown here is an ATS Allison Extreme. It could hold on to the 632 horsepower without a problem. With 400 to 500 rear-wheel horsepower and 342 gearing, this truck is most at home on the interstate. Here in Montana, the interstate speed limit is 80 miles per hour. When driving through open country of Montana's Interstate 90, you'll quickly discover that 80 miles per hour is sometimes more of a suggestion in the minds of many drivers. This is where Little Red is the most fun. By the way, the opening video segment here captured a few glimpses of my daughter as I walked around the truck. She was given the keys to Little Red for the final week of her senior year of high school. She had the attention of the boys. Later, she said she spun the tires only a couple of times, explaining it as a touchy pedal. So is this the best Duramax swapped OBS Chevy K1500? I think it is. This truck can be used to hang out with the performance crowd at a diesel event or a track day. It can be shown at a custom or a classic car show. It can run with the BMW sports sedan crowd on the interstate, and it can tow a 10,000-pound travel trailer across the country at the legal speed limit without ever overheating or lack in power. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment below if I missed answering any of your questions. But stay tuned, more Duramax related videos are coming.